Hello, everyone. This is Tikva from Homeopathy for Humanity, and we come to you again today on our never-ending quest for revision. And today we are back at the Organon because it is Thursday evening. So today we have aphorisms 12 and 13 to discuss.
So, do you remember what we have learned from Aphorism 11? In Aphorism 11, Hahnemann teaches us what is dynamic, how dynamic word or dynamic plays a role in human body or in this universe. It has an effect on every element, every substance, even on human body, in every cell. It is a force that bonds two substances in the atom. That that gives what you call animation. Animation means activity. Activity to and there is we have learned that there is a vibrational energy. It is not that pure energy which is free bonded, free, all electron protons are just randomly free. It's bond between those electrons to keep that quality of substance intact. So here he's talk about that dynamic energy. And this dynamic energy, how it plays in life, how it plays in human being. And then he talks about how it produces all the what you call sensations and functions of human body. In Tikwa, what do you have to say about this?
Oh, well.
We are on to aphorism 12 now. In 11, it just talk about dynamic. And now in 12, we have some new. Hello? Okay, Tikwa, over to you.
Well, we have here, I don't know if anybody can see it. Did this turn out right? Can anybody see my screen?
No?
No? Oh, do I need to call tech support?
No. Press that green button.
Press that green button. Mhm.
And then you need to select the screen or
Yeah.
window. There you go.
There we go. Now we got it.
Yeah.
Yes, it's okay.
Okay. Yep. So here's aphorism 12 for us. It is the morbidly affected vital energy alone that produces disease, so that the morbid phenomena perceptible to our senses express at the same time all the internal change, that is to say, the whole morbid derangement of the internal dynamis. In a word, they reveal the whole that disappears under treatment of all
Can
the
you
morbid
repeat?
phenomena.
Can you repeat? You are frozen for a second.
I was frozen for a second.
Yeah.
Okay, where was I frozen?
You can continue the internal changes from there.
That is to say, morbid derangement of the internal dynamis. It says my connection's unstable. In a word, they reveal the whole disease, consequently, also the disappearance under treatment of all the morbid phenomena and of all the morbid alterations that differ from the healthy vital operations, certainly affects and necessarily implies the restoration of the integrity of the vital force and therefore the recovered health of the whole organism.
Now there is a simple what you call explanation.
If the word morbid means diseased. So the diseased affected vital energy in the organism shows us the complete disease and the changed state of health. That's all about the changed state. Does the body
Exactly. And
express
one more thing,
disease
I would like to say at this point. He is talking morbidly affected vital energy in organism. He is not talking about morbidly affected organs of the body. So,
Yeah, that happens later.
yeah. And he says that morbidly affected vital energy in the organism shows us a complete disease in the form of senses, affect change senses and function, sensation and function.
Yeah, because material changes develop during the course of disease and they're not the disease itself. They're a product of the disease.
Exactly. Whatever changes, physical, pathological, we see are the result of diseases. Whatever disease name the modern medicine denotes, whatever you can say, you can ulceration in the stomach or appendicitis or whatever, or you can say enlargement of lymph nodes, enlargement of liver or heart. That everything is.
क्या
Can you just
फिजियो और फार्मेसी
mute? Mute. Lakshmi Chaudhary.
लक्ष्मी लक्ष्मी switch off your okay
Okay.
carry on.
Okay. I'm lost now.
We're just talking about how the development of pathology is secondary to the dynamic derangement of the vital force.
Exactly.
That's what we were talking about.
And in relation with this aphorism, it talks only about how the morbidly changed vital energy or this morbidly changed vital energy will express in change or altered sensation and function. And it forms the complete disease.
Complete image of the disease for us to read.
Right? The first changes will be alteration in sensation and functions. And afterwards, you can see other changes on the organic level or on the physical level. But we are not here, we are concerned about how this vital energy will express as a complete disease in human body, only in the form of alteration or change state.
Yeah.
And this is only important. And we have very, and he talks about disappearance of these symptoms. What does that mean? What is actually disease? Are you aware of your other functions of the body? Like your heart is pumping continuously from birth, and blood is running from your blood vessels. Even the nerve is transmitting all those electrical waves, or your lymph is flowing, or there is lots and lots of small changes happening, functioning inside our body, but we are actually not aware of anything. But morbid state, the first thing, it will give you that awareness in the form of sensations, feelings. Feeling means not that feeling on mental
Not
level.
emotion per se.
Ah,
That's what he's trying to say, not emotional feeling, but sometimes the emotions are affected. But,
yeah,
that's.
it could affect on that level also.
Yes, but what
But
he's
I
saying.
am talking
change
about
state.
the physical body.
Yes. And the disappearance of signs and symptoms of the changed state means that the vital force is well, and the organism has recovered.
When you feel, can you give me one example of this awareness of working of functioning of internal body? One example. Any students? One symptom. Palpitation. Have
Palpitations
you
is one.
experienced palpitation?
Well, if they haven't, they've certainly observed pain or swelling
Pain.
somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Most people have. If they haven't had heart palpitations, they have had swellings of injured areas or
Or a lot of, almost some, all of us might have some small bites from that bugs.
oh, sure,
Ants.
mosquito bites for sure.
Yeah.
So Hahnemann
Okay.
goes on to say that how the vital force causes the organism to display morbid phenomena. Phenomena are the things that happen. And morbid means disease, things that happen. So how the vital force causes the person to show diseased things that happen to them, that is how it produces disease. Now Hahnemann says something very interesting to us. He says, it would be of no practical utility to the physician to know. So he's telling us that it doesn't matter why or how it happens. And he says it will forever remain concealed from him. That means us. only what is necessary for him to know of the disease, that is fully sufficient for enabling him to cure it. The Lord of life revealed to his senses. This is a very interesting statement. So Hanuman's saying that it's not important how or why the body produces symptoms, but it is our ability to read and understand the symptoms that is important, because that is what gives us the information that we need to cure disease. So all the theoreticals of why and how and in what way and after this and after that, that all these
And
scientists,
And this is why we see in first aphorism, it tells us about our aim is to only cure the sick to health.
and not to waste time with speculation.
Not to, then he talks about to know what is disease. And now he takes what is disease. It's only express the internal changes, means a deranged vital force. And it will express only in the form of senses or of those functions, sensations, and sign and symptoms. And this group of sign and symptoms will tell you the internal vital force is disease or deranged. You don't have to look at the phenomena. I read somewhere else a long time back. Phenomena itself is its proof. It doesn't need any proof. If something is happening, that means there is a procedure. But here Hanuman tells us you don't need to look at that phenomena, how it happened, why it happening. You just know how expression of disease, that is signs and symptoms. Only look at that. That will tell you the deranged vital force internally, and only mean to get a knowledge to know the internal disease vital force or morbidly affected vital force. And when this vital force, these signs and symptoms removed, that means the vital force is free from disease. Right?
Yep.
Okay. Anything else?
Therefore, disease that does not come within the province of manual surgery. And then this here is an interesting statement itself, because what did manual surgery consist of in Hanuman's time? For example, if somebody had a severe injury, they would need to have help closing a wound, stopping arterial bleeding, stuff like that. Surgery was basically in its infancy, is surgery that we know it. So when Hanuman mentions manual surgery, he doesn't mean that there's so many things that need to be taken care of surgically. He's saying that there's really very few things that need to be taken care of with surgery, or stitches or things like that. So he's saying sometimes, it is necessary. If somebody's had a car accident, you want a surgeon and a homeopath, both, because one will assist the vital force and one will assist the, the acute injuries. It's like setting bones, we have to set bones when things are broken.
Or suture that cut part.
For sure. Yes, repair. Yeah, modern medicine excels in repair.
Recently, we have talked about materia peccans. He's talking about materia peccans, means material cause of disease.
So he goes
What is
on to say,
material cause? Huh? Do you have anything?
I was just going to continue with the aphorism
Mm-hmm.
that therefore disease, considered as it is by the allopathists, as a thing separate from the living whole, from the organism and its animating vital force, and hidden in the interior, be it ever so subtle a character, is an absurdity that could only be imagined by minds of a materialistic stamp, and has for thousands of years given to the prevailing system of medicine all those pernicious impulses that have made it a truly mischievous, non-healing art. So the mere fact that allopaths think of disease as being something separate than the body, something separate that needs to be removed, cut out, killed, destroyed, stopped. Allopathy is all about, let's stop this process. Let's correct a different process. Let's remove the affected part, right?
Yeah, because they think that tells us that you are sick because your organ is sick.
Voice is
And
not
what does
coming.
homeopathy?
Hello.
Hello? Is it okay now? Can you hear?
Hello.
Tikwa? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Okay.
you.
Okay. He's talking about materia patterns, what we have learned earlier. That means material causes. These other physicians, allopaths, they think that because your organ is sick, no, sorry, your organ is not functioning well, that's why you are sick. But they think that there are material causes. And if they remove that material causes, then that individual will be cured. But Hahnemann says it's not like that, because in homeopathy we see that you are sick, that's why your body is sick. Not because of your organs are sick, you are sick. Because you are already have a disease inside, and that's why your organs and your physical material body is sick. There are two different aspects to look on here. And why there is a internal disease Hahnemann talks about, because there is a derangement of vital force due to and morbid dynamic affections, and because it produces all sensation and signs, or it produces all sensation and functions, and when it affects, it will affect the whole body. The person will be sensitive, or according to his susceptibility, will affect on certain parts. Here, the organ will affect at the end. First, the whole body will be sick internally. But in other medicine, they say your organ is first sick, means they have malfunctioning liver, and that's why they say you are sick. They will just change that part or cut that part, right? But
Or
we know
replace
that
that part.
replace that part. But
Yeah.
we know that
Part
body does
replacement is a
not
big
work
one
like
now.
that, right? That's all over here. Tigwa?
Yeah, that's it. Yep, so anything that does not come within the dominion of manual surgery, for example, an accident or severe injury, doesn't is just a product of the vital force, and nothing is hiding inside the body that needs to be removed. Now, you remember, this is a time where they used to take people's blood from them with venesection and take out a whole bunch of blood in order to try to relieve fevers and things like that. So, medicine has changed a lot, but it still kind of has that same idea that something needs to be killed, changed, removed. And that's still pretty much what happens in allopathy, as opposed to looking at noticing that any kinds of changes are the effects of the disease that's already there. And even if you remove an organ that is not functioning properly, the disease will still remain. It'll just move to another place.
Yeah.
So it just goes from point A to point B. We see that in cancer treatment. They'll say that they'll take out a cancerous organ, and then they'll give somebody a whole lot of chemicals in order to try to kill the cancerous cells. And they have a time period where they're thinking that the cancer won't return. But then, they have a suspicion there that it's going to return. Why? Because it's hiding somewhere, because there's something wrong with the dynamic energy of the person to make it produce cancer. Because even all normal people, even very healthy people, will have some cells that don't work out right in its cell reproduction. That's very normal. And the macrophages will come and eat it up and take it away. But when something goes wrong, it's going wrong dynamically, not just materially. There's something that's happening inside the person with their vital force that's gone wrong. And it becomes too much for the cleaners to come and clean it all up. But by the time something like that shows up, somebody's been sick for quite some time generally.
Okay. Can you stop screen share?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we have done this. Do you want to continue with another aphorism, or we will? Any questions? First year students.
You'll have to turn
Aisha?
on your microphone.
Aisha?
No, sir.
आज तक जितना ये 2 सेशंस में कुछ सीखा?
Yes, sir.
कुछ समझ में आया?
Yes, sir.
I know that you don't have subject in the first year class, but at least you should know what is dynamic. Lot of homeopath even doesn't know what is meaning of dynamic.
Yes, sir.
So it is good to see that first year students are interested in learning Organon.
Yes, it's very satisfying. This homeopath thinks that that should be the first subject taught.
Organon and matter, especially Organon, should be taught from first year.
Yeah, for the first thing, it should be the first semester of the first year. This is what you're getting into, and it is going to change your focus for your whole rest of your training to understand things as a dynamic influence rather than a
But-
material influence. So I
Most
think
of
that it really is the very beginning of learning to be a homeopath is to understand Organon.
We have our new friend Serban. I don't see her video. Hello, are you there?
I'd say that maybe her name's Mirella
Marilla.
and Serban might be her last name. I would
Yeah.
guess.
So basically, when you learn anatomy, physiology, pathology at first year, then you get one perspective, materialistic perspective to look at the human body. And somewhere between there will be lost that thought of homeopathic concept, homeopathic perspective to understand disease. Even it took years to understand and take myself away from that materialistic idea to understand what exactly mean disease in homeopathy. It is quite simple to say it just present of group of signs and symptom, but how it affects the whole body. Unless and until you know these small words, dynamic, and how the vital energy plays role inside body. This is very important.
It is beyond important. It is really your function as a homeopath.
In third aphorism, we learn that we homeopaths should have knowledge of disease. Does he means that knowledge of disease means to learn what is pathology, what is typhoid fever, what is cirrhosis of liver, or what is pneumonia? It doesn't mean like that. He means to understand disease, means to understand disease homeopathically, to understand deranged vital force, the morbid vital force, to understand morbid signs and symptoms. Right? Sandhya Sahu,
Hello, sir. जी, sir. Yes, sir.
do you have anything to say? Or
Yes.
any
Sir,
questions?
yeah. Sir, can you explain? Because here is a first year student, they don't understand how to collect the case taking. Na? Can you give the small case taking ka one example so they can understand how to dynamic affection? Please. Only one or two symptoms, which is the dynamic symptom.
Actually, that part is totally different from the session we are having now. But
Yeah.
still, what just we have to ah,
Well, I'll
Okay.
give a small example.
Okay, okay.
Let's say we have somebody that has a fever. We need to know if it's a low fever or a high fever. And then by examining the person, we're not going to be, the examination goes a little bit differently. Like you're going to want to like touch the person and see if there's any cold parts or like, you know, something like a cold head and hot feet is important to a homeopath. Or if one side of the body is hotter than the other. And things like, you know, you don't just say there's fever, there's heat. The stages of heat, chill, perspiration are important to a homeopath. So we look at things in a just a little bit of an altered way, because we don't just have that overview, there's fever. That's not enough. That gives us nothing. We just know that there's some kind of ailment that has gone on, that is happening, that is causing a fever. The fever is not the illness. Something else is the illness. So we need to ascertain the signs and symptoms of the particular fever. So let's say if somebody has, you know, they're delirious, and let's say maybe they're talking about, they're worried about their business, and maybe they have some abdominal pain. You know, these all will make little signs to us. You know, if somebody's pupils are enlarged in their eyes, that would be something that we'd look at as well, as would be like redness of the whites of the eyes. So we're looking at things at a little bit of a different level than just basic things like, oh, there's fever and there's, you know, we're looking at things more, we're looking for the dynamic derangement.
Okay.
That's
I
what
will
we're
give you.
looking-
I will give you one my famous explanation about this. A lot of time you must have heard. I gave that example of holding an coal or fire or putting a hand in the fire. That example. Okay. Just say vital energy in our body which governs the whole function of the body, means it controls everything, it gives you everything, it keeps all functions in the comfort zone, in healthy state. It try to maintain the healthy state, means it try to protect the physical body from being sick. It doesn't be sick so easily unless and until it is susceptible from inside.
Yeah, the perfect
Okay.
storm that creates illness.
Right? Vital force is there and it protects the body. Right? So there is one example I can give. Suppose this is a fire and or this is a burning coal, and if I am holding on in my hand, huh? What will happen? Just answer this question. What will happen if I am holding a burning coal in my hand?
Burn your hand.
It
There
will
is some
burn.
blisters.
Yeah, it will burn my hand. Means very first sensation will be sensation of burning, and this sensation is produced by vital force to make you aware this is danger and you should go away, or you should withdraw your body part from that danger. Then I will just throw that coal away and withdraw my hand, right? As soon as I felt that sensation, means vital force will give you sensation, that change sensation, sorry, certain sensation, and let you know to only for the purpose to protect, right? now what happened? I have put my hand in that burning coal. Vital force immediately tells me with the sensation that it is danger, and I withdraw my hand. Vital force has worked perfectly over here. It has done its work, and this is healthy state, right? The sensation we produce, this is a common symptom actually. This is common symptom when you are putting in your hand in the fire, it will give you certain sensations. When you put a hand in the ice or hold ice in your hand, it will give certain sensation, and that is a normal sensation, right? That is certain normal sensation are there. And imagine Hahnemann says change state or alter sensation are disease state, right? When I am holding, with the same example, I am holding this coal, burning coal, and vital force is not giving that sensation which it has to give. It is not giving me that burning sensation. What will happen?
It will
What will
injure
happen?
deeply.
I will not withdraw my hand, and it
And
will burn my hand, it will destroy my hand, it will destroy my bones. Means sheer vital force fail to protect the body, and this is the disease state. Where vital force fail to do its own work for which it is officed for. Right? This
means
is a
vital force
perfect.
Vital force is out of station.
means vital force is the preservative.
Yeah, it's have that function to preserve the body.
Sir,
Right?
I have a doubt.
Uh-huh.
Sir, vital force is a force or energy or immunity. What exactly is vital force?
Ah,
Because you use this term
when you,
everywhere.
yeah, when you talk about immunity, that is material thing. When you talk about immunity, that is material thing, and this is not material. It is a dynamic. Huh? Dynamic means it is not actually the energy also. Because when you talk about energy, it is a free radicals, means there is no bond between those radicals. There are, this is a absolute free. All electron protons are absolutely free, right? There is a bond between those elements. It plays, it just vibrates to give you certain function. Huh? That vibrational energy is there, right? So uh, that's
The
why
vital force is also conducting the immunity. The
yeah, it
vital
conducts.
force is making the immune system work. Without the vital force, the immune system is not going to function.
It's not
The vital
immunity.
force
You
makes
can't
everything
say
happen.
it's not immunity. Immunity is only one part, or you can say one function of that vital force.
Yeah.
So basically, it vital force controls the whole body,
Yes.
It governs
immunity
the
and
whole body.
everything. Yeah.
Everything. Whatever it will give, it will show you on that material body. Huh? If it is, see, it's not that it's nothing, there is no thin line, this is health or this is disease. It is just that level that is functioning. If it is at this level, it will function that way. It will at this level, it will function that way. And it will go again below, it will function accordingly. Right? So, but physically our body is constituents, means it is susceptible, it is material body, and it has its own limitation, right? material body has its own limitation. That's how there is some susceptibility belonging to that material body. So vital force in this body, when it is at this level, it will give certain signs and when it at this level, it will give certain signs and symptoms. And accordingly, at some level, this body will start feeling discomfort at certain levels. And that's discomfort may be at any level, at sensation level or at you can say, and immunity is just a part. I can say it's just a material thing, right? कुछ समझ
All
में
the
आया?
functions of the body are
Yes, sir.
controlled by the vital force.
One
It's
question.
just beyond that word immunity. Vital force is not limited to immunity. It's more far beyond. It's complete. It governs everything. It's only, but it is limited to that particular body. My vital force will have only controlling this body, and your vital force will have only changes in your body. That's why Hanuman used the word force, because it has effect. It affects from other dynamic forces.
Unless we're
He,
going to use pranic energy, in which case we will be affecting other people's dynamic range.
yeah.
Oh, there's something in the chat box.
Okay. Any other?
First question. Yeah, I can understand because I am teacher or I am a means professor in college and I have studied too much. But for the new student, when they are like a organ like liver, spleen, we can easily taught. But the vital force unable to taught to how to teach the student, they can understand easily way. This is a very big problem. So they never understand what is the vital force.
Because everybody thinks what is vital force? It is soul. What is vital force? It is immunity. Means you are thinking very materialistic. If you are thinking this is immunity, means it is very materialistic, allopathic point of view. Means like immunity is doing everything. If you are immune, you get this disease, like that. And if you are strong at immunity, will be protected. And that's what's in earlier aphorism say, materia peccans, there is material cause, they think. Because your immunity is not optimal, that's why you are getting infection of corona. So people start drinking that what do you call kadas to boost up immunity. It doesn't work actually. Unless and until you have to build, it cannot be built by itself. It is what
Means
it
you want
is.
to means you want to say when the allopathy according we test the immunity means the immunity is good even though we are affected by the virus or bacteria.
Yeah, see, here what he Hanuman is talking, microbes are affecting body, but he is telling that it's dynamic energy affecting the dynamic energy. It's not only microbes. Microbes, materialistic microbe doesn't have ability to affect the vital force unless they have dynamic what you'll call ability to affect the other dynamic force.
Wasn't it Pasteur that took a whole vial of cholera bacteria and didn't get sick? He wasn't susceptible at the time. So there has to be susceptibility. There has to be a derangement of the vital force in order for a pathogen to affect people, because otherwise we would be inundated with sickness constantly, because there are pathogens around us perpetually. Here, there, everywhere. Germs, 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 germs.
You're
sick every
living
time.
you're living in the pool of bacteria and viruses.
And a lot of them benefit us. You know, you've heard about the microbiome. There's also the virome, and there's also the fungal biome. And I don't remember the technical word for that, but there are so many of these organisms that are part and parcel to our health and well-being. For example, science has recently shown us in the last few years that a lot of the neurotransmitters are actually made in the digestive system. So if somebody's digestive system isn't doing well, then it isn't really just a chemical derangement in the head. It's really something that's starting in the abdomen. So there's so much that we don't understand about how the body operates that we can't make a really decisive, make that be like a basic rule. Because science is always changing and developing, and new discoveries are always being made. But one thing that we know as homeopaths, that the signs and symptoms displayed by the vital force when the person is unwell, we know how to read those signs and symptoms and apply the proper medicine that will be similar to cure the ailment. So that is why no matter where science is, no matter what the clinical thinking of the day is, that the homeopathy will work. We're just kind of bypassing all that science and just going directly at how the person expresses their disease.
Okay. Anything else? Sandhya Sahu?
No, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Homeopath need to understand why dynamic and how this dynamic energy and dynamis is called for vital, another name for vital force. Because vital force is getting affected by other dynamic forces, that's why Hahnemann name as force. Otherwise, earlier it was named as vital principle. Then he thought when he called a principle is a supreme authority. It will not derange by any forces. That is principle. But vital force, it is limited to certain that individual, and it also get affected, and it also shows how much it is affected in the form of sign and symptom, right?
Yep.
So homeopath should know the disease homeopathically, not allopathically. When you are looking at disease allopathically, they will not cure. They will you will reduce the symptom for time being.
Then means relaxing of the symptoms again. If you will not cure according to homeopathy disease.
Yeah, it will return again and again. You have to make changes. You have to strengthen that vital force inside our body. So it will take care of all those functions and sensations. morbid function and sensation, and it will remove everything. It will give you healthy functions, right?
Means we mostly focus on the functioning senses and not about the organon is involved.
Yeah. No, you just look at what symptoms the patient, person is
Sup-
having.
Suppose anybody has a
symptomology,
suffering from the liver cirrhosis, then we don't focus on the cirrhosis. We should focus on the symptoms and sign which is the perceivable by the patient.
yes, but
See,
then
see,
at the same time,
cirrhosis have certain group of signs and symptoms, right? Certain
Yeah.
group. And if you are having 5 patients with same disease name cirrhosis of liver, and 5 person will present that cirrhosis on different plane. Not all those signs and symptoms will be same in all those 5 people. They will present in different intensity. They will present certain additional symptom also. These additional symptom will be the
concomitants,
individual, yeah, individualized symptoms.
concomitants.
So you have to group not only those symptoms, but other symptom of the body also.
Yeah, because the
Other
general
concomitant.
symptoms aren't going to yield much, but the seat of disease is important. So when we're looking at cirrhosis, we know we need a remedy that affects the liver in the provings and or through clinical information. We need to know that that the seat of disease will be there. So we're looking at a very broad spectrum
Means
and
you
not
want
the
some
common.
we should go for the first which medicine in the during the drug proving affect the liver.
Nah, drug that I have the affinity towards liver.
Mhm.
Yeah, like
The
just
priority
allium
is should.
yeah, like allium is mostly affected the mucous membrane. But if you are talking about the nux vomica, it is the effect of the whole body. Is the mostly is the nervous system.
Yeah. Nux vomica affects the nervous system. It will affect mucous membrane of intestine, stomach, huh? And alum cepa also affects the mucous membrane. And it's not only nose, but it will affect all the mucous membrane of the body. And but we will have the same secretions. But we look nux vomica, sorry, alum cepa only with the nose, eyes. So certainly we have to look at the affinity of the drug, on which part it has affinity. In cirrhosis, certainly you need remedy that goes on liver, but the remedy should also cover the other aspect of the person's what we call susceptibility.
Or their symptomology, because
Yeah.
you're looking at a holistic sense. You're looking at the whole person. People display signs and symptoms throughout their body, which then give us indicators.
Yeah. Okay. I think we are done.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, teacher.
No, you can't, means don't say teacher. Nobody is teacher here. We are just sharing. Huh?
Yes, sir.
We are not means going the class with the stick.
Does anybody still do that?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
See you next time.
I think you enjoyed. Aisha,
Yes, sir.
start reading Organon yourself also, so you can ask the questions.
Yes, sir.
Which book?
Yeah,
In the Organon of the sixth edition, there is a given the only means aphorism where we can get the detail about the aphorism, which is the describe the aphorism.
there are a
क्योंकि
lot
बच्चों
of
के लिए
books.
हाँ
There
बच्चों
are
के
a lot
लिए
of
वो
books,
नहीं है कि वो
but
लोग उसको समझ
I could say you should read not only, see, it is very, when you read one aphorism, it is very difficult to understand the complete sense of what Hanuman wanted to say. You need to read the aphorism in the group, like 2-3 aphorism up, 2-3 aphorism below. Continuity of reading should be there. Then you will understand the complete sense. And if you want to read as a topic, vital force, you know that vital force been taught in 9 to 10 aphorisms, and you want to read as article, then there are a lot of books. But in those books, you will see there is a lot of interpretation of their own ideas and thoughts author has induced in that. So it will mislead to understand from that article. First, you need to read this Organon by Hanuman, main book,
Yeah.
and then you can read anything. Anything you can read. I don't mind. You are reading Guide, A.K. Das. You can read A.K. Das also, no problem. But before that, you should read 6th edition of Organon. Even this MP Arya book, he has given a lot of explanation below like this.
okay.
Explain all.
Means aphorism describe in the detail.
Yeah, he has described the detail, but we see that authors will always put their own thoughts in that explanation.
Yeah, because they perceive the different way, perception. I have a different
Le-
perception about the vital force, and everybody have a different perception.
because we haven't learned that on the spiritual what you call it, I don't know how to explain. We have certain prejudiced no ideas in our mind, like from allopathic study, anatomy, physiology. Then even we are more connected or communicating with other allopaths to know, understand about diseases, right? And somebody is sick, you will go in the lab, you will do lab work, then you will say, okay, he has got typhoid fever, he has had rheumatoid arthritis, or he has ankylosing arthritis. Then you will take books, read what is rheumatoid arthritis. You will say they will, and you will get all those allopathic ideas.
But in reality, the homeopath, when they see that diagnosis, says, but how does that affect our patient? And then you go back directly to the patient with that diagnosis in your mind and say, but how does it affect this person? We're going to the individual, and we are looking for the individual's manifestation of the disease. And then that will give us the information we know to treat it.
Basically, you should go to the patient, or when patient come, you should just close this box. You should close your brain, put in the cool box.
Hello.
Never use your all
Hello.
that pressurized notions. Can you hear me? I
Hello.
think Sandhya has some technical issues, network issues.
So it's kind of raining here, so the
Yeah, probably. Okay, we are done for today.
Yep, just remember that the individual's expression of the deranged vital force will be the signs and symptoms that are perceptible by the practitioner. And that
And
leads us,
perceptible by person.
and also by the practitioner. If
Yeah.
somebody has typhoid and they smell terrible, that gives us a very important symptom. Sometimes people won't notice small things about themselves, particularly men. Men often don't notice small things. You know, like if they have ridged fingernails, that might be important to the homeopath. You know, a man might not notice he has some discoloration around his eyes. You know, but these things can be important for the
Have
homeopath.
you seen ridge fingernails?
yes, sir.
I have. You can see, I don't know if you can see.
Is it
Let-
longitudinal or is it horizontal?
like this.
Those longitudinal ridges are in arsenicum.
Yeah, longitudinal. You can see now. Can you see now?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All fingers. See. Now you can find remedy.
But that's only one symptom, and one symptom is not enough to make a
No,
prescription.
you can look at in which remedy this have. Longitudinal ridge on the nails.
But remember that in order to take a complete case, we need to know more about Sanjay.
My case is really difficult, you know that.
Remove the cause.
Yeah. Okay, I think we should close now. Thank you everyone for attending the class. Especially
joining us.
thanks for our new friend over here. We can't see the video. Can you pronounce her name?
I think it's Morella.
Marela.
I think.
Thank you for being here, Marela. Hi. And I would like to tell you, we are here at the same time on Thursdays and Sundays every week. You are from? Can you please introduce yourself before we close?
I'm from Romania. Romania?
Okay. Are you practicing homeopath?
Yes.
Yeah, that's nice.
I'm a doctor. Doctor homeopath.
Oh,
Wonderful.
that's nice.
In my country, you make homeopathy only you are a doctor, medical doctor.
Yeah. In most of Europe, that is, they have the same pattern. You need to be a medical doctor to practice homeopathy.
Yes, in my country.
Yeah. Yeah, and it is really nice to have you this session.
Yeah, where did you find us?
Hope,
Interesting. I found the Facebook. Relative.
Okay, great.
that's great.
Good. I'm glad you joined us.
And if you can make time to attend the classes on Thursdays and Sundays. And Tikwa, please, can you get the number so she can add you in the WhatsApp group so you can get links every week.
Yes, of course. I am interested. It's interesting for me.
Yeah, you can just send, your contact information on Facebook too.
Yes, thank you very much.
I will just write my number in this message box. You can note down and message me on WhatsApp. Okay. I will need to take down that.
Brielle is your first name, right?
472 46 5881. Is it along with country code?
I beg your pardon.
The number you have written is it with country code?
From Romania, 40. It's prefix to Romania. The number is 0722
Okay. 65881.
Yes.
Yeah, so plus
Okay.
40.
Plus 40.
Mhm.
Okay.
Plus 40, yes. I forgot, sorry.
Okay, I will message you on WhatsApp.
I'm plus 972.
72? Okay.
972. Plus 972 here in Israel.
Plus. Okay.
And plus 91 is India.
Yeah, plus 91 is India.
11. Okay.
Okay, thank you for being here.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
And yeah,
We're here to help.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Close this recording.